looking.
Hi everyone.
Hey, Mr. Toyosi.
Honestly, when I
How
saw the email, Virendu Consulting, I was like, I know this email. Like, how far now?
I'm good. It's good to see you. Look at your cheeks.
Hello.
The person I spoke to yesterday, I told him last
Yeah.
time I saw him, he looked older. He's looking younger. I'm looking at you, and now you look richer. Toyosi, what is happening?
Amen. Amen. Uh,
Huh?
but that's what everyone tells me these days. So I have to go and look for. I don't think my. Let me see if I can change my positioning. Apologies, guys. Let me see if I can change my positioning. Um, let me change my background. Sorry, Jerry. See,
Absolutely.
I didn't even know this. I was in London for I think 2 or 3 months, and that place is burger they eat. So, so the thing contributed to this.
To the chicks.
Yes,
It's fine. It's fine. We can tell a wealthy African male first by the cheeks and secondly by the stomach.
yeah, that's serious. uh,
Thank you so much for making our time. I really appreciate it. So we'll just jump right into it.
sure.
I know that a number of people are gonna keep joining as we move along. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Oluchi. I am managing partner and co-founder of Rendo Excel. At Rendo Excel, we're a capacity building firm that is hyper focused on trying to build the kind of leadership character that helps them unlock more value with less resources. That's long English for we like to engage groups of young people that are going on the innovation journey and see if we can help unlock their capacity. And that also means that once in a while we with interesting young Africans that are doing exactly this in um different sectors, right? One of those people is none other than Mr. Toyosi, who's already here on the call. Um, Toyosi is doing great stuff, but I think I will allow Mr. T introduce himself and just let us know a bit about what is his current obsession right now, what is he trying to solve in the world, and just a bit about his background. Toyosi, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Oluchi, and thank you, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. That's Temitayo and Ify. I like to start by telling people my story because I know this is an ETP program, and I think it makes sense if I sort of start with my background of of my journey. So I used to be a student of University of Ilorin. Then I joined an organization called ISEC. That's AIESEC. I was very active and I was so active. I was president. I schooled in Ghana. No, I was vice president for ISEC in Ghana. And on the last day of my term, our board of advisor, the chairman, he said, that's Michael Kobler, he said, they want to offer me a job in PWC in Ghana. But prior to that, a friend of mine told me of his brother who is starting a startup called Ask an Expert. That was in Nigeria then. So PWC opportunity going back to Nigeria to, and this was in 2015. So I thought about it, and 2015, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, I was just like, let me go to Nigeria, let me go and do startup. I didn't know that I was setting myself up for for what would end up becoming, one of the best journeys of my life. So I left Ghana, I came to Nigeria. So I rejected the PWC offer. I came to Nigeria, I joined the startup. You need to also understand that the local tech scene then was very, very young. One, we didn't have an active development scene. So I was a co-founder for Ask an Expert. So Ask an Expert then is just an app where you can chat with experts for information. You can chat with a doctor, chat with a lawyer, etc. What ChatGPT is today was what we were trying to build in 2016. But the difference is that ChatGPT is data. You're chatting with AI. This time then the problem we're trying to solve is that you are going to be chatting with a doctor in real time instead of going through Google, etc. But the thing is, one of the reasons why the project failed was bad timing. Timing in so many levels. So the first timing is that one, the local development scene was hard. So we had to hire developers in India. So we hired developers in India, so it was very, very difficult paying them. Apart from difficult paying them, it was hard communicating with them. Time zone difference. Three, exchange rate was also an issue then in 2016. That was one. Two, the local payment scene then was very hard. We didn't have things like Paystack or Flutterwave that can help us, help people pay. So what we were doing was we were trying to integrate into MTN for people to pay with airtime. And while we were trying to do that, even integrating with airtime, getting airtime, MTN approval took months upon months and sitting with MTN. So because I know part of this session is product market fit, and I know all these things sort of play an important role. Understanding the timing, understanding the type of problem we are trying to solve. But the thing is, as someone that was super passionate, it's something everyone knows about me. When I'm passionate about something,
this is true.
It's true. That's the end. So my friends tell me that they don't see a future in what I'm building. Even myself, it was when I left Ask an Expert that I was thinking, man, I was stupid though. Like I was trying to, what was I thinking that this was gonna work? But at that moment, I really believed in what we were trying to do. But it got to a point where I had to give up. And also again, in part of building product, also being sensitive, to pardon me to say, the Holy Spirit, telling you, or your spirit telling you that
no pardoning needed.
Okay. When your spirit tells you that, man, okay, maybe this can't work for now. Maybe now 2023, maybe it could work. Maybe it could work.
Yes.
And now some of these problems are solved. We don't have to go and hire developers in India. There's Paystack to help payment. People are more used to even Android phones, and people getting used to apps then was not really it. But now mobile penetration has increased, internet usage has increased, so maybe it could work now. But emphasis on maybe. So but then I was giving up. Then I saw back in the market, back in the, I don't know if it's still at VJJ. He posted on his Facebook that they are recruiting. Back in the, used to work in ISEC. So he posted something on Facebook that ETP, if you know anyone. So I buzzed and I said, what's this program about? And his response, this thing is not for people like you. You are a boss. Guy, I don't have.
Sounds like a number of people on this call right now.
This thing is not for people like you. This thing is for boss. You're a boss already. It's not for people like you. And I was like, guy, I just needed a way out. I just needed something else to do. Because I felt like Ask an Expert, I was done. So instead of looking for a job, I said, tell me about it. And it was like, oh, it's a program. You get to rotate across different departments. And if you do well, in 2 years, they'll give you a full-time employment. And it's more like being an entrepreneur in-house. So when I heard entrepreneur in-house, I was like, oh, I'm interested. I've learned building of products. This is going to be a good opportunity for me. So I said, what's the pay like? He said, no pay. The salary is like 50. I was like, in fact, I didn't mind, because Ask an Expert, I was a co-founder. I wasn't really paying myself. In fact, the day I decided I was not going to do it again, I was living with my parents and I didn't have transport fare to go to work. and I had to go and meet my stepmom. Can she please help me with like 200 naira? So she was so reluctant to give me that 200 naira. So she's like, you have finished school, you have done this, but just take. She just gave me 200 naira. On my way from work, I said, man, I can't do this today. That was when everything was like that. You know what? I just got back in the.
I have to go get a job.
Yeah, I have to go get a job. So I joined VGG. I started the ETP
And
program.
that's a good place to pause you,
Yeah.
Toyosi. Because I'm going to come back and ask you a number of questions about your VGG experience in
Sure.
a bit. But honestly, 80% of what you just said, I actually had no idea. Dude, you suffered in this life.
I shared also I shared on my Instagram story.
It's not today. It's not today that boys have been trying to do great things in the world and gone broke.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So I have a question for you, Toyosi.
Tell me.
If we skip the VGG experience, right? Because we're going to come back to it, and we now fast forward X number of years later. For those of you who don't know, Toyosi is CEO and co-founder of AWUJO, right? That's AWUJO, right? Yeah. That's the name it goes by these days. You guys have changed your name twice or so. It's hard to keep up. But so he's the co-founder, and just even before this and before he jumped full time into this, some of you might not know, but Toyosi started and created and has been running in the background one of the largest communities in Nigeria for crypto, right? Some of you might even be in the WhatsApp group, but you have no idea. It all started from his head many years ago. And so when he does talk about when he's passionate about a thing, you will know. Yeah, when he was passionate about crypto, we didn't hear what, and that drove him to the biggest stages actually in the world. And so his current startup, it's no brainer that they're making it work now. So my question for you, being somebody that is very passionate and is driven when they are passionate about a thing, how do you navigate the world of, so in the innovation journey, there is discovery. Do I have a problem worth solving? There's validation. Who am I solving it for? Are these the right people? And there's design. Okay, what's the solution that they want to see? And then there's implementation, that whole project management. Let's go, let's pilot. We want to talk a bit around that design and implementation phase. As a passionate person that sees this thing very clearly, right? How do you actually discipline yourself to say, okay, I see it clearly, but I need to work with people to build XYZ features. They're wasting my time. And then I need to follow the proper way of piloting, implementing. Like I need to follow that enterprise process and all of that stuff. How have you done this in your current startup? And it would be great if you can give us like a practical example of where it's worked and where it's not worked for you.
Okay, so
bringing things to market essentially. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So first thing is, I think it is very important to understand that you actually need passion. And I don't like the word passion, but I call it interest. You need to be very, very interested in what you are building, which is what there's a passionate about it. Because when you are passionate, you are interested, you can eat and breathe that problem, then you'll be able to fully understand how to solve the problem. So I would go to some examples. So for example, when we were starting, we called our project AfriGuild. So AfriGuild, and why AfriGuild? So while I was in VGG, I discovered crypto and I started training people on crypto. I host meetups, I do trainings. Then I discovered the problem.
Sorry, so this is Crypto Arena, right?
Yes, Crypto Arena. Yes, Crypto Arena.
For those of you who've heard Crypto Arena, you're looking at the brain behind it. Go ahead, Toyosi.
Yeah, and it was very early because think about 2016. I bought my first Bitcoin at $300 or $350. That was the first time I bought Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was $300. But the thing is, there was a problem I discovered. I discovered that no matter how I tell people about crypto, they used to tell me, I used to tell them that so the best way to start is you have to buy your first Bitcoin or buy your first crypto. The next thing they will say is, I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. You know, so it made me realize that okay, there's a problem, which is for people to get into crypto, how else can they get into crypto without having money? So that is first me understanding the problem. But again, I started with my passion, with my interest. Two, I now started, I wasn't looking for a solution actively until one day I saw a video of how people can play games and earn money. Like, okay. And I know one of my principles in life, even the Bible says it that um the best way to, I forgot how it was being quoted, but one way to get wealthy is to make people wealthy. So I thought, okay, if I can actually help people make money, then I can actually make money. So I thought, okay, I discovered this whole thing about play to earn. You play games, you earn money. Then I started looking at the indices because I didn't want to make the same mistake I made and the first time with my first project, Ask an Expert. I started asking the right questions. So in designing, you start asking the right questions. Okay, who are these people that we want to actually solve this problem for? I said, okay, there are people who are the people that don't have money but are interested. Okay, they probably don't have a job. They're probably students. They're probably young and enthusiastic. Okay, and most importantly, they have time. So, okay, all these indices, I brought it down. Then the solution that I had in mind was you play game and you make money. I said, okay, who are the people that this would also fit? We started marrying those together. And then we started, okay, why don't we start in urban area, that's in Lagos? We discovered that while we are trying to talk to people, come and play games and make money, because of the time games are things you learn. You learn how to play a game. It's not, you just, people don't, in Lagos, they don't have that time. Even if they don't have job, they also don't have that time to play games because they're probably distracted with Netflix, with Twitter, with TikTok.
Right.
But one day, on one fortunate day, I was talking to one guy, he lives in Offa. That's Offa, is in Kwara State. And it was like, oh, he has one community, he's trying to, teach them. I said, wait, you have a community. I started asking, I said, okay, how old are they? What do they do? I said, most of them don't do anything. I said, do they have mobile phone? Do they have Android? I started asking the questions again. Then I said, okay, how about I give you you want to train them, right? You have access to them. I also have an opportunity that they can make money. How about we come together, and that's when we started building. So in terms of designing, it starts by asking the right question. First is passion and interest. It's so those passion and interest will help you see. It's because when you eat a problem, then you are able to see. Again, if you look at what I'm saying, I was not talking about eating the solution. I'm not even talking about the solution because you find out that the solution that you designed will not work. Is eating the problem, just focusing on like people in professional terms, like Oluchi will tell you, be obsessed about the problem. By the way, Oluchi is our trainer. Oluchi taught us all these things while we were at VGG. So again, thank you for all your business analysis training that we used to do then. So again, it's about focusing and being obsessed about the problem. And the problem was, how can I help people make money? It's not how can I help people play games. It was
very important.
It was about how can I help people make money? How can I help people make money? And when I started thinking, and now at the end of the day, after spending 1 year, we figured out that our solution was not even going to work. Because the model we have defined was not sustainable, and that was why we had to rebrand, because we say, okay, why don't we, all these communities that we have, why don't we bring them together? They become a guild, a gaming guild. We start giving them games. But the model was not sustainable because when the crypto market crashed, it affected us. But one thing we said is, okay, guys, let's go back to the drawing table. What is the problem? Like, what is the problem we're trying to solve? And the problem is, how do we make people make money? How can we help them end crypto? And that is where we are on our next solution. Second part, can your passion lead you astray? Yes, like a lot of times. And that is why, again, on my ETP program, I didn't only make a friend, I made a brother, and I made a co-founder for life, which is Francis. Francis is my co-founder on this project. We met in my story. The first day I got to ISEC, VGG, where we're doing our ETP welcome program. Francis was looking at me. He's like, I know this face. So when I introduced myself, he now came to me and said, "Oh, are you the Toyosi Abolarin? You know, I used to know you in ISEC." Say, "Yeah, I didn't know." So I didn't know him in ISEC, but he knew me. But we became friends. And today, well, let me don't let me hype. Also, our company is valued at millions of dollars, valued at millions of dollars. But again, it would not have been possible without me meeting a friend, a brother, and a partner. And the thing is, we are so different. Francis is the very logical, he's an analytical person, very analytical and straight to
very left brain. Yeah.
Yes, 2 + 2 is equal to 4. Me, Toyosi, 2 + 2 is 22. I think 2 + 2 is 22. I think, but Francis will always bring us back to say, wait, come. This is your passion, I understand. I understand you want to do this, but come. Have you thought about it from this way, from this perspective, from this past? It's the one that even made us realize that Toyosi, we are wasting money, continuing on this business model because it is never going to work. And okay, how? And then he did the analysis. He's a very data-driven guy, did the analysis and said, this is not going to work. At the end of the day, we will have spent thousands of dollars. We will not solve our problem. Francis is here.
He is. He just joined while you started talking about him, almost like he heard.
Francis, you're not a bastard. So I was just telling them how, in AWUJO, you are our voice of reasoning. Again, so back to in answering Oluchi's question, in terms of managing passion and obsession with, being also reasonable, being logical, because they have to go hand in hand. And sometimes I'll tell Francis that, Francis, I know you think it can't work because 2 + 2 is equal to 4, but let's take a leap of faith. Let's just try it out.
Leap of faith.
Let's try it out. If it doesn't work, at least we know we have learned some lessons, and then again, and then he will come back to say, I know it can work, but why don't we experiment, with this little amount, let's do this amount and this X number of time. So of saying, we just want to experiment for 6 months, just no, let's try 2 weeks, and then so in terms of passion, there's that balance that we bring along with each other, which is in terms of there's someone who is very analytical, very logical, and there's someone who probably is driven by emotion, interest, and passion.
Interesting. No, thanks a lot for that. Wow, very, very insightful. A few nuggets that I got from what you said. Number one, man, you have to be passionate. If you're not passionate, the problem is going to hit you down, and one day you never get back up, right? And then still in that bucket, be obsessed with the problem, right? Be obsessed with the problem. I like how you called out, you never set out to build a business that has a gaming solution. You always set out to find a way to help people earn. And I think that's very powerful. Especially in design phase, it's easy to get caught up in all the features, feature set, right? So that's fantastic. Another nugget I think I got is the power of the team and why you need to have a balanced team as you're going to market, right? We can't all be Toyosi that was a dick of the world. Some people have to be your uncle. You need fuel in the jet. The jet will crash. Right? You need that balance in your team. And I think that's really, really critical. And then this last piece that you've just mentioned about even when you want to go and do crazy things, time box it, right? Experiment, test and learn, right? So it's better to localize your risk in case it goes south, right? It's not everybody's not out of a job. You've just lost you've lost some money, but at least you've learned a ton of things and you didn't screw over everybody. So that test and learn, very fantastic. Thanks for that. This is You know, there are innovators for everyone that's listening, and there are innovators that went to school to learn it, and then there are innovators that are being learned by are being trained by the streets.
Yes.
So your team belongs to the latter, right? He's learning the same principles. He's learned it, but after he's taken a few punches on the street, and that takes me to my next question. And after this question, I will throw it to anyone from the audience to really ask. I know they've been dying to learn a thing or two. And I guess my next question will be, um, we've heard you talk about your company. We've heard you talk about, you know, how it started and some of the ways that you guys work. I think for the audience to fully appreciate what you people are dealing with, can you give us a scale of what you're dealing with in terms of numbers? Yesterday, our guest Kufoni called it vanity metrics. Vanity metrics, right? So can you give us some vanity metrics, whatever you're comfortable with, whether it's number of users, whether it's average revenue, whatever you're comfortable, just give us a scale of what you're dealing with right now.
Okay. So, you know, for me, again, I think as innovators, entrepreneurs, we need to not only look at the vanity metrics, but most importantly, what does those number, what do they really mean to you?
What does it mean to you? Gotcha.
So let me tell you the proudest moment of one of the proudest moments of my entire life. You know, I told you guys we started with building out a gaming guild, and some guys in offer. So we were opportuned to compete on a global stage in Dubai, in a gaming tournament, and we took about 7 guys to Dubai. On the last day, we came second in the tournament, at least in one of the games. We lost in some, but in one we were second. On the last day, the guys, they came to meet me, you know, and they started telling me that when we had a session, we're just like, oh, I was the, you know, and the all 7 of them, one, it was the first time they ever got into a plane.
Oh, wow.
Apart from the fact that it was the first time they got into a plane, it was the first time outside Nigeria, you know. And that day I was so emotional. I was like, God, if you take me today, I don't you can like the joy. It was like man, like Toyosi, like their parents were calling me to say, Toyosi, thank you. You know, you did this for my child, you did this for our family. Our child has never ever traveled before. Like some of them were, in fact, before we left, one of them, Eunice, our dad called because I think she was the second girl lady we took, and you know, our parents were worried that is this not kidnapping? Is this not, you know, maybe so, you know, and so they were super, super happy. And till now, it's like when I look back at those moments, is that impact that we made in their life. The first time they ever left Nigeria, ever met people outside their, you know, I don't know anyone know where Offa is. I am Francis, we've gone to Offa. Offa is in one bush, one village, you know, and these guys, you know, were representing on a global stage, you know, like they saw Dubai, the World Trade Center, took them to the museum, you know, other things apart from. So again, in terms of vanity metrics, that's one of my own vanity metrics whenever I look back. In terms of other numbers, in terms of what we are working with, we have a community of maybe 6,000 gamers. Again, remember, gaming is a niche. It's niche. We have a community of about 6,000 members. In terms of, by the way, I tell people I need an opportunity for me to sell myself. I think gaming, everyone has one form of game, plays one form of game or the other. So if you think you are very good at Scrabble, you know, word chess or whatever, go and sign up on AWUJO.gg. That's our beta program. That's our beta app. Go and sign up. Look for someone to compete. I tell people I'm an 8-ball pool champion. So go there, come and compete with me. You know, we'll compete. We have free $2. You know, so other numbers that we sort of we are working with. In terms of revenue, to be sincere, we are not making money now. We are actually spending money, which is totally understandable because of the phase we are in. We've paid out over $50,000 to people, to gamers, within at least within the last 1 year. It's over $50,000. So if you think that you can, go and sign up, come and make money with us. Yeah. AWUJO.gg or AWUJO.co. That's our, other project. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. No, that's great. Toyosi. Well done. Well done. And for that, but I think I understand completely what you're saying. That moment where it's not even about quantity, it's about somebody's life has been changed because you followed your passion.
Yep.
Because you followed your passion. There's nothing like it. And I think that is that moment that makes entrepreneurship like almost like a drug. because you go on a high, right? You have many valleys after that.
Yeah.
But then that happens again in future. You're like, just when you're about to quit, and you're like, man, if it's for this person, I would do it all over again, right? I would totally love that. And well done. 6,000 gamers is not a joke. Guys, I didn't even know that there was money to be made in playing video games. I'm thinking by now I've been a rich human being. Game that I used to play when I was young. These guys have just found a way to make it profitable for the young African. I think that's super, super fantastic. All right, so let me take a pause. And guys, if you have questions, I see that 3/4 of our people here right now are going through the ETP program themselves from Nigeria and Kenya. There are 10 of them. And just a bit of context for you, Toyosi. We've been on this journey with them for maybe the last 9 to 10 weeks, and they've gone from knowing very little about the journey, right? The science of information delivery. I mean, all of them have done amazing things in their past life before they even showed up here, right? But they just came together, created 2 groups, figured out a pain out there in the world, right? And we've been going on the journey together from discovery. Do I have a problem? What's solving? Let me go and validate. So they came back, validation and prototyping. They went and came back. As we're talking to you, what we're seeing is nothing less than 6 LOIs signed already with real businesses.
Oh, nice.
That was nice. Absolutely. These guys are on fire. So they're in that phase now where they're like, okay, so what happens next? Right? What happens when we have real human beings, real human beings have signed, or people like isn't there like, okay, for that more, what shall we do with these people? Or that's really where a lot of the questions are at. You guys can just raise your hand if you want to ask a question, and I will call out to you.
While we are waiting, I remember,
yes,
for our own we call it demo day, our own project. I remember I was leading my own team. Francis was leading his own team. Ours was the problem we're trying to solve them was we call it easy start or whatever. Easy what?
Easy start, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, easy start. Ifeoluwa, yeah.
Yes, Ifeoluwa, go ahead. You're on mute.
All right. Hi. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, madam.
Hi. All right. Hi, Toyosi. Thank you very much for the insight so far. It has been really interesting. So I just wanted to ask about the team dynamic. So you mentioned that you and your co-founder have 2 separate personalities, and I think that's really interesting. It's fun when you balance each other out, right? But how do you manage it? Like when you're going too far, right? And then it seems like I know where I'm going. Don't draw me back, that kind of thing. And then he's like, oh no, we need to look at this from a. So how do you manage that? That balance?
Thank you. That's a fantastic question. So one thing is when we are building out a team, one thing is you both of you need to align, or at every point, remember the common goal. The common goal is we want to build out this. We want to solve whatever X problem, that we've decided to do. The good thing about us now, we actually 4. There's one who is on the tech side. There's one who is strategy. Francis is for finance, and I am focusing on product. Again, we've had our moment where we will fight, and it's part of it. If you guys are not fighting or having, because the initial stage is like, it's the initial stage. People have to fight. It's like when you just get married, you and your
to
wife
fight.
fight. You must fight before both of you now find out, okay, this is how we will work. So disagreement, having disagreement is allowed, is encouraged. Having difference of opinions is encouraged, because it now means that you have to really, really prove to the other person that this direction is the best. And sometimes you take something for the team, not having this type of attitude of, hey, Shebi, I told you now, we should do it my way now. Now we've not done it my way. You've
It's
seen
not my way, right?
it's never about your way. It's not my way versus your way. It's about the way that we think we should do. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. Also, I used to tell people that, in fact, everyone that joins our team today, maybe we recruit, the first thing I tell you is that please fail. Please fail. Please make mistakes. Because that, if we feel like you are not making enough mistakes, you are not failing, then we don't feel like you are doing enough. If Amazon, like, if when you listen to Jack Dorsey or even Max Zuckerberg, they tell you number of projects that they've tried that didn't work. It's the ones that are successful that we all see. So encourage the act of, okay, it's fine. We don't want to, you don't see it my way. Okay, let's try it the way you've agreed, and I will support that way. Let's time box it. Let's see how it's going to work. If it doesn't work, both of us will come back to the drawing table. But encourage yourselves to always try out, experiments, try out things. Again, it is not your way versus your way. It's fine to have differences. It's fine, if they feel like you are moving too fast and you have to take a step back. Again, all these things happen because, again, people see from different perspectives, and that is why it's a teamwork. It's a team. It's not Messi alone cannot play. Ronaldo alone cannot play. Someone has to pass. Someone has to pass.
I love it. I love it. No, thanks a lot for that, Toyosi. A great question, if you're lower. Ronaldo found it out the hard way.
Exactly.
He found it out the hard way. Key point from what I'm taking from you, and this is really the heart of innovation, right? It's creating a safe environment for experimentation. Because at the end of the day, business is just a series of hypotheses. No matter how passionate you sound about what you're saying, the reality is, let's go and test it outside, right?
Yeah.
The market will either validate it or they'll hit us in the face. So why are we even spending the time fighting, right?
Exactly.
I love it. Great one. The hands are coming up. I see Ebube raise his hand first. Afterwards, we'll take his in his question. Ebube, let's go.
I know. I can tell where Ebube is.
All right, I'm just looking at this image. Oh, to spent many days in that exact location. That's
Exactly.
the same people that you're sitting at.
Hi, Ebube.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, it's for
His network.
I think he has a
Just
lag.
have a
Yeah.
lag.
so yes, thanks for being here. I was listening to your story, and we do have that is in a go.
Ebube, there's a lag.
Yeah, sure. You can drop out and drop back in to the call. Yeah. All right. Let's go with this in there.
I will meet it. Hi, Toyosi. It's good to have you. So my question is this: how do you maintain your passion during challenging times or setbacks? And also, how do you ensure that your team and your stakeholders share the same level of passion with you for your business?
I was talking to Francis yesterday about how, like, last week has been a very, very challenging, like one of the most challenging weeks of my life, and he was saying, how do you keep a straight face, like all this thing. Sincerely, I don't know. But for me, I think understanding a few things. One is your personality matters. There's also a colleague of ours who is going through a hard time right now, and he had to excuse himself from the team to say, guys, I need the next 2 weeks off, so I can focus on whatever I need to focus on. But I think this is where leadership comes in. This is where we that we call ourselves the creators of the project. We have to self-lead ourselves, self-govern ourselves, because again, if you start losing interest and your team starts seeing, because there will be those moments, like I'm just telling you for free, you will have moments where you feel like, okay, this thing is not going to work. I don't feel like doing this thing. But again, it comes back to you asking yourself first, why am I doing this? Or ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I attempting this? If the why is clear to you, that okay, this is why. When those moments come, just have to keep going back to the drawing board and say, oh, okay, I have to keep encouraging myself. And again, this is where the beauty of the team comes in. Let's take it. Arsenal played last season. They were on top for so long. Everyone thought they were going to win the league, and it came down, to the last, and they lost it out. If you were their coach, how would you feel? Because the coach gave the right tactics, did the right thing. At the end of the day, they didn't miss their goal. But seeing him coming back, I saw his videos. I'm not an Arsenal fan, by the way. I hate that club. He came he came back last. I watched some of these guys because I learned leadership from them, because it's not easy managing those people who are celebrities in their own region, like celebrities in their own way. And he came back to say last season, it was one of the most disappointing moments because they couldn't. But this next season, they're going to do this, and I can see that translating in the team because everyone has the same language. So this is where the team dynamics come in. We tell ourselves, I said, most important thing is AWUJO isn't better. AWUJO is probably not doing as we want it to be, but sincerely, you will never hear it from my mouth say that AWUJO will not work. You will never hear it from my mouth saying we have a shitty idea. No. Like the word you confess, if you think I'm a pastor, the way I'm talking sometimes, I'm very, very far from it. I'm very, very far from it. But there are some principles that just work. One, you just have to keep yourself motivated. Just recapping, you need to find what works. Some people, I feed off energy of other people. Some people, they need that time away, to just, but most important thing, let your team understand the type of person you are, the personality, and most importantly, the team. This is just free for everyone. Just like in your team, you people should cultivate the attitude of what comes out of your mouth should not be derogatory towards your project. You can say, oh, we've not figured it out yet. We are trying, but we've not done it. Because again, what are you doing? Well, it's an experiment we are running. We don't know if it will work, but we will try to make it work. But what comes out of your mouth, it's very, very powerful. So start saying, oh, it's not working now. Don't say it's not working. It's not working now. It's not, the app is crashing now. Just be just be very, very, and let people understand that, oh, with this method might not work, but we will figure out a better way. And and when people hear that, everyone will keep it. It just keeps all of us going.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you very much. So another question, please. I heard you say that you've not made money, but you also said you spent like $50,000 trying to get customers. Would you say that that's your customer acquisition cost for last year?
So it's also okay. It's a fantastic question, but you also need to understand the type of business we have, the kind of model that we've built around it. Sorry guys, the kind of business that we built around it. I'll call you back, no vex. Call you back here. So the kind of business we built around it, and the kind of model. So when we started out as a guild, and the model of the guild was simple. buy out NFTs, loan it out to these guys, and whatever they make, we'll pay them out. And we're doing that. We invested probably maybe $100,000 in the assets, and we've paid out about $50,000, and we've made money from the commission of that. But we figured out that that was not going to work, and that was what we raised money for. Because we raised money. That was what we raised money for. Some businesses, right from get-go, which I always recommend, those are the best type of businesses. But not every business comes that way. Not every model comes that way. So model requires you that you have to spend a lot of money. Then you now start paying. So can we count it as our user acquisition cost? Francis, you're on this call. Maybe you can answer that.
So you want to put a friend?
Francis, maybe you can chip in here if you're available.
Yeah, sure. Hi guys. Sorry, a bit of background noise here. I wouldn't call it a user acquisition cost. Maybe it's our COGS, because really it's what we pay out to our users after they have generated revenue for us, right? But actual customer acquisition cost right now will probably be around and signing fees, which is significantly less than 50,000, right? But prior to the model that we are currently running, we have actually paid out about 50,000, but we wouldn't consider the customer acquisition cost.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah. You see, it's very straight to the point. It's very
Love it.
Thank you.
Is that you good?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm good.
Fantastic. Well, thanks a lot. Great questions. I like Toyosi's summary. So let me start practicing what you suggested. I don't have enough money in my bank account now.
nah.
Love it. Great talk. All right. I see Titus and Spencer. So Titus and Spencer dialing in from Nairobi. Titus, you want to go first? Oops, we can't hear you, boss. What's happening?
We can't hear you. I think your mic.
Yeah, something happened to your mic. Do you want to maybe log out and then log back in? Maybe to reset. While you're doing that, Mr. Spencer.
Yeah. So hope I'm clear and you can hear me very well.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah. So mine is just to add on just a question on what Hezina said. There's this part of discipline entrepreneurship, and the first question I had, I don't know if Francis or Toyosi, one of them will answer it. I've been following a lot of startups, and when you're building up a new company, the main aspect of the company is majorly is the marketing and technology, because those are the main things. But this time I get a startup that has a finance guy, and you guys are in the gaming industry. So does finance play a major role like in startups? And when you're talking about that part of the salary, like you're restraining yourself from the salary, you just got some pre-seed funding. How long do you get you that point of, guys, you don't need to pay ourselves salaries, maybe so that you don't lack a fare to job and something like that, so that at least you can look like some co-founders, at least when you go and look for for some contracts, because co-founder came working something like that. So maybe you can just speak about that.
All right.
Which I know.
Those are beautiful questions. I'll start from the first one. Yes, a lot of time it's always a product guy and a tech guy, or a marketing guy and a tech guy. But you also need to understand how we started. When we started, again, so I think the simple answer is your co-founder is determined by the type of business you want to run. When we were starting, it was strictly around investing in NFT assets and lending it out to gamers. So we had to do with a lot of analytics, a lot of financing, and a lot of building of business models. And it was even less about tech, because we thought we could actually just manage in a have a committee where we are managing them. We're not really focusing on marketing even per se. And I was saying, okay, I was going to be doing products, etc. But as we started evolving, even today now, Francis is currently managing our marketing team. And I used to tell people this. I'll go back to football. Pep Guardiola, who I think is the greatest coach ever, he's one of my role models. And he said that if you look at Man City team, everybody can play everybody's role except the goalkeeper, except the goalkeeper, which means that the team dynamics has to be very, very, very strong. So, for example, Francis never had the marketing background, or as a sales guy or anything, but he has to do what he has to do. If it means going on trainings, watching YouTube or whatever, he has to lead the marketing team. Me, I'm currently leading the product team, but trust me, if it's to do finance, I will have to figure it out how I am going to do it, because the essence of everyone is that you have to, and that's why even the ETP program is beautiful, because it teaches you. I don't know if they are still doing the rotation thing. It teaches you. Okay, it teaches you, because I actually spent 3 months working with Nicole, who was our CFO then. So I learned a lot in finance. But most of my time I ended up spending on sales and business development, working with Elsa and Komi on the sales part. But I also did some things with business analysis, maybe on products. I worked on products. So that's also the beauty of ETP, giving you all these experiences. And most importantly, as an entrepreneur, when you are building out your team, in fact, whenever we're having a meeting, I'm thinking succession planning already, that just in case this guy falls sick, someone else has to be able to take over. So when you're building your team, you have to build with that dynamic in mind. And that's how Manchester City, for the past 5 seasons, that is actually the secret. For the past 5 seasons, that is why they have been the most successful team in Europe, because of team dynamics. Everyone can play everyone's role. Just Google Bernardo Silva. He's a midfielder. Last season, he played as a left back, center forward. He played everywhere, because football is also like life, where anything can just happen. You don't know, your guy can just say, I'm not doing it again. I'm getting married. I'm pregnant, or whatever. Anything can happen. And your team just has to move on.
Yeah.
So answer to that is team dynamics. Secondly, so we didn't start off paying ourselves. We're doing it with our jobs. And we're taking our time. We'll meet in the evenings, sometimes weekend. We kept talking to ourselves. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? We kept doing it until we got to where we are today. So you cannot start off by paying yourself. That's it also even shows the investor how committed you are into the project. You are able to commit your personal time, your personal money, and your energy. And in terms of so I don't know. Some people can do it maybe for free, like just working outrightly, etc. But some people probably have to have jobs and do this until it becomes yes, it can be a side project, so that you can feed and you can look presentable, you can buy clothes, look fresh when you are pitching. So it depends. The dynamics is different. You all have to figure out what will work for you. So me personally, I'm always having one side also or the other. I'm always selling crypto here, buying this here. Someone wants to sell land, okay, I can help you, But so I'm always having money, one way or the other throughout mine. So it wasn't a problem for me. Francis had to have his job and be doing it on the side until we now have to now build out a proper company out of this.
Yeah, love it, love it. Thanks, thanks a lot for that, Toyosi. I love the Man City analogy and football being like life. Essentially, guys, that's what we've been hearing, right? This whole thing about being a super soldier, being a Swiss Army knife. That you have a number of things in your toolkit, and depending on where you're thrown into, you can function. I think Toyosi just validated that. Yeah, you should have people that play the role of hustler, visionary, and the other. But from a skill set perspective, everyone's complementary. Like the hustler can become the visionary tomorrow, and the visionary can become the hacker, right? Tomorrow, if need be, if it's time. Love it. Okay, I'm just gonna take one more question, and then Toyosi will turn back to you for final words because I want to be mindful of your time. Just final words, word of advice to these guys, especially from your time when you were in their position, right? The titles. Let it rip, my brother.
Okay, hope now you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Hi Toyosi, hi Francis, hi everyone. Okay, to begin with, I'll start by saying, at least for the first time, I've had a Man City fan. So I think the Arsenal fans and Man United fans in the house will look for you later and be in your DM like, okay. First and foremost, okay, I've logged into your website and I wanted to ask, okay, like, make money while you're playing this game, because maybe I would want to make some money before the end of the day. Okay, for the second question is, okay, most of the startups, okay, do fail at the point of acquiring customers. We find we have those tech users and the early adopters who aren't really your target customers. From what you've just said, seems like, okay, you've passed these two stages from tech users, early adapters, and I think so you're around your early majority. So I was trying to understand, like, what strategy maybe did you use to maybe close this gap between your early adapters to your early majority, like the most customers that you have now? You have said you have about 6,000 customers signed into your game portal. So I wanted to understand, like, how, okay, like which strategy maybe did you use to acquire these customers and ensure like you retain them and have them satisfied up to this date? Because for us, okay, we are at this stage and trying also to acquire these customers. So like, I want to understand like the strategy that you use so that you can acquire more customers.
Thank you so much. One thing I've learned, your first question. Okay, let me start from second one because I can't remember the first one because I was focused on the second one.
First one is he's playing. He's on your website. He wants to know the quickest way to make money today.
Okay, yeah. Oh, how do you make? Oh, yes, I'll answer that first. So, the quickest way to make money. What games do you like playing? Spare time. Tell me, what games do you like playing in spare time?
I'm a FIFA fan.
FIFA, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So log into our platform, schedule a time. Just say you want to play FIFA 23, FIFA 23 in the description, talk about the time you are available to play and put money on yourself to say nobody can beat me. First, we are giving out $2, as we call it our user acquisition cost, $2 for you to, again, what we learned, again, a series of experimentation. And that will lead me to answering the second question. And I'll start with saying that what works for me might not work for you, because it's two different business models, two different audiences, two different industry. With gaming, what we've discovered through a series of experimentation is that people like to compete. Every gamer, they like to show that I can beat you. We discovered that people would not naturally just drop money onto a platform they've never used before or never gotten referral. So we said, okay, how about the first $2? We'll give it to you. We'll give you the first $2. So you test it out. You compete with someone, you win or you lose, and you say, okay, you will come back, because one thing about gaming also is that gamers in Nigeria, we call it, we know they agree. A real gamer, what I mean by know they agree is they don't like losing. So if I lose to you, I'll be like, no, I wish I just, did something right in that first half. Maybe, then I'll come back. So that's a retention mechanism. But we needed that $2 first to give to you to sort of build confidence. That's brand confidence. Me, I don't know terminologies like that, but that's confidence of, oh, let me try out this platform. Let me see if it's gonna work. And when I do it, if I win or lose, trust me, people will come back again. If I win, I will come back because I want to win more. If I lose, I'll be like, oh, okay, let me try it again, because it's like gambling. That's for us. So how do we make money ourselves? With any commission of the fees. So if you play game $2 with someone you don't know, we earn a 5% fee. The longer projection we have is that we also have tournaments. So challenges are 1v1, like Toyosi versus Titus. Second one we have is tournaments, where you can have group tournaments. So you can have a FIFA tournament with 20-30 people. We will be introducing subscription, where as a subscriber you have access to participate in any tournaments that you have, and you can compete for $100, $500, etc. The third model is because we have a database of gamers, people that want to play games, new games, can host tournaments on our platform. They'll pay us to run tournaments for them. But again, these are all still work in progress, because this is beta for us, and this is different experimentations for us. The last question, I don't know if I've mumbled everything together.
You have. Yeah, I think his question was really around what techniques did you use to acquire customers, and what we're hearing is you're giving money up front, like $2 to test it out, right?
Yeah. Let me also add to that. This part is for what we have now. How did we get the 6,000 people that we started with? Yes. So you also need to understand again the problem you are trying to solve. If I tell you, Titus, come and make money by playing games, all you need to do is sign up. Will you sign up?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Why?
Okay, rephrase your question again.
Okay, so
that,
yes. Because I naturally think the answer will be yes, because everyone, when they hear come and make money by signing up here on this platform, sign up on this platform, you make money. The first thing is, I expect people are looking, very Nigerians, maybe because you're in Nigeria, Nigerians, they just sign up, so it's understanding. My answer is understanding the problem you are trying to solve. And the problem that we were trying to solve then was how do we help people make money? So we did lots of campaigns online on, oh, come and make money by playing games. Come and earn your first crypto. So we posted in different community groups that I had started in the past. We have communities and referrals. So we also ran a lot of referral programs. Programs. But again, the tagline, come and make money, by playing games, was a good sell for us, because people were just interested in making money. And that was how we drove and acquired them. In terms of retention, what we started doing was giving out assets. So the assets that we've invested in, we're giving it out to the guys that we are super active and very good, and we're making, so people, it now became a competition. So everyone was sort of playing games, playing and doing the demos for them to get the first to get the next asset. And that was how we actually sort of built out our community.
Love it. Thanks a lot, Toyosi, for that. Okay, so I'm just looking at the time.
No, let's take Ebube's question.
The next 3 minutes. Okay, so Ebube, in 10 seconds, can you ask your question? But here's what I want to suggest. So Ebube, ask your question, okay? And then Toyosi, don't answer his question yet. I want to turn to Francis. Francis raised his hand. I want to turn to Francis. It would just be great to give the audience a charge as they go on, like your final words. And if you want to address anything, then Toyosi, you would answer Ebube's question as well as dismiss us. How about that? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So Ebube, let's go.
Thanks, Toyosi. Thanks, Oluchi. Yeah, my question is really, it really ties into what Oluchi said earlier. I just wanted to understand, because we have similar backgrounds. Isaac was president, some startup experience before ETP. So I wanted to understand, how did you, first of all, did you always know, like during at the beginning of your ETP experience, that you wanted to continue building products? And then how did you make the most of your ETP experience such that it led you towards building products and being a product person?
Gotcha. Thank you for that, Ebube. Did you always know this is what you want to do, products, and how did you leverage on ETP? So Toyosi, hold that thought. Francis, you know we love your voice.
I was actually raising my hand to contribute to what Toyosi was trying to explain earlier, but I think he already did a good job of explaining our user acquisition strategy at the beginning. So you want me to give what a charge to the team?
Yeah. What would be your
Okay.
nuggets? Your one,
My nuggets.
1, 2, 3 nuggets for them.
Okay, so I guess maybe what I could say is, first of all, by way of participating or being a member in the ETP program, it's a very unique opportunity, right? When we went, so I also went to the ETP program, by the way, and that's where Toyosi and I met. And I think at the time I didn't really see the value of it, really, because it was just us trying to get through tasks. Yes, there was the desire to learn and grow, which BGG and the ETP program gave to us. But one thing I can guarantee, and I think I want everyone to keep in mind, is by the end of this program, all you have learned, all these lessons, projects you're working on, different teams, the network that you will gain while you're within the venture garden ecosystem will be very, very valuable past this program, right? There's a level of confidence that it will instill in everyone, that even if you veered off entrepreneurship or you veered off, I'm not sure what your particular disciplines are, finance or maybe product, that value that is instilled in you would give you the confidence to be able to do anything. Literally, I never thought I would ever go into entrepreneurship or be a co-founder. I'm a finance guy, investment background. Post VGG, went into venture capital, led a fund and all of that. And then I veered into entrepreneurship, right? Or being a startup co-founder, which is like a great area. But one thing that has helped me along this journey, honestly, are the lessons, the disciplines, all the toolkits that I had garnered during the ETP program. And today I am very, very grateful for going through that experience, right? So I'm just saying to everyone who is going through this program right now, it's a very unique opportunity. It's very valuable. And I am really excited for what each and every one of you will do post this program. And I'm looking out. I don't know everyone on the call. I'll maybe connect with Oluchi afterwards. But I'm going to really be on the lookout to see the amazing things that each and every one of you will be doing after this program. All right. Thanks.
Thank you for that, Francis. Sorry, let me just paraphrase that his last phrase. He did tell you that he was a venture capital led a fund. When a VC tells you, I'll be on the lookout to see what you guys build, in other words, I'm looking for the next opportunity to put my money inside. So no pressure, guys. Love it. All right, thanks a lot for that, Francis. Well said. Toyosi, over to you, sir.
All right.
Last word.
Yeah. Ebube, what else were you from?
Oh, Ibadan.
Go single.
Oh my
Ibadan.
We are the champions.
We are
Oh,
here to counsel.
No,
Oh,
that's
That's Piercy.
oh my
okay,
goodness.
okay. Don't let us suppress them. All right. Yeah, congrats to you. Please remind me the question, Francis. It's Oluchi, I mean.
Yeah, his question was really around how did you
Do I
know
always know
that you
that?
were that you were going to build products, and what did you leverage on particularly during your ETP time that has helped you be better at this product piece?
To be sincere, I've never always known. I've never always known. What I know is that I've always wanted to be a great person. That's all I know. And I want to just do something for the world. One thing we all learned in ISEC was that peace and fulfillment of humankind potential. And I felt like I needed to contribute to the world and make the world a better place. That I have always known. How I will do that, I've never always known. I've never thought about tech products, products or anything. It has never. In fact, if you ask me, I thought I'll probably be working in one multinational company, doing business analysis or project management. That was I was always taught. But God ordered me on this step, and it's been an amazing journey for me. So how yeah. So I've never always known. I've never always known. But if I would say something, as a takeaway for everyone on this team, is three things. One, whatever Oluchis tells you, do it.
Really? I didn't see that one coming.
Because again, I think, to be sincere, I did not understand, and I know Francis too we can chip in here. I did not understand the value of what Oluchi teaches us or he taught us then until I left. In fact, I wish I was a more serious student. Because all these problem statement, how to write public statement, how to page, how to understand your customers, how to see this guy is a professional at it. So first you have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of resource at your disposal, and I don't know. Yeah, you guys are not paying him. I don't. So please utilize it. And is always available. That's the good thing about Luchi. Is always available. It's not someone that will be posting you. So first Oluchi, whatever it tells you to do, do it. And number two is I tell people, I also tell myself, I try to remind myself every time that I swear I don't know what tomorrow will hold. I don't know what tomorrow will look like. I don't know what next year is going to look like. But I know one thing, that morning will be morning, night will be night. And because of that, because those things are constant, all I can keep doing to fit into the different variables of things that will happen is that I have to always try. And what do I mean by I have to always try? I have to always try to succeed or try to fail. At every point in time, I have to make sure, I am doing something, which is equal. You can think it might not work or it will work, but just do it, and that's my motivation. I think in Nigeria or Africa, we don't celebrate startups failing. We don't celebrate startups failing or ideas failing, but I think it should be, and that's why funds, develop words, they create funds for startups. Because what are startups? They are experiments. And that's why the statistics showed 99% of startups will fail because again they are experiments. So at every point in time, you have to, not only because you are trying to figure out the next $1 billion idea, because you are trying to become the next best thing. You are trying to, because you can never, they said an object unstretched can never remain back, can never be in the same position. So you have to always try, you have to always experiment. And most importantly, the last thing I would say is understand the value of the people around you. Today, I mentioned earlier on the call that I spent about 2 months in London. I stayed with an ETP the person I did ETP with, which is Shegun. I stayed with him for 2 months. He accommodated me. I know how expensive it is. So the value of the friendship that you build, you build here, the value of the friendship, the value of the experiences, but all of you we have together. There are some of us that we fought, during the ETP program. There's one particular guy, both of us fought. We fought, but today, funny enough, I probably saw him before I traveled. I saw him and we still greeted each other. I was surprised the family, again, because remember, again, life is just too short. Well, everybody will die. So life is too short. So no need to keep malice, no need to keep malice with anyone. Remember, it's just experiments you guys are trying together. And so give it your best. Remember, most importantly, just ensure that you're always trying. Just know you're always trying. Will it work? I don't know, but I'm going to keep my mouth, my confessions positive, that I will try to make it work. It's not working now. I don't have money yet. We've not raised yet. We will raise soon. Just keep all those words coming. And one day, you will blow. Me and Francis, we've not blown. No, please don't get it. We're also trying. We are trying to figure it out. But we will blow very soon. We blow very soon. So that's all I have to say. So thank you, everyone.
No, Toyosi, thank you so much. Those were perfect words. Beginning from the end, the networks, social capital, man. After spiritual capital, social capital gets you there. We underestimate it. Your ETP colleague today could tomorrow in a foreign country. You don't know, right? And then number two, just really this concept of trying, right? It's all about experimentation. Even again, failure, right? Our very first boot camp a few weeks ago, we established that for innovators, there's no such thing as failure. Failure is just a few hypotheses that have been invalidated, right? That's all it is. But whether it is failure in the traditional sense or whether it is success, one thing is for sure, because you tried, you are better off, right? So once you're stretched, you never go back the same. His point number one, I don't know about the point number one. I promise, guys. I didn't write Toyosi to mention my name, so we can edit that out of the video. But yeah, Toyosi, thank you so much. And Francis, thank you so much for making our time. I know how super busy you guys are. For making our time to talk with us. Question journey, right? It's not as scary, and it's actually not even as scripted. The guys who are doing this day, it's not like they have it all figured out. But what's the difference between them and us? The difference is that they jumped and they're in the arena, right? The man in the arena, it's easy to sit on the sidelines and write all your analysis and critique Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and say how they should have done it at the beginning. But yeah, all of that is English, right? But the man in the arena always deserves an award. And I think, Francis, you guys have the scars and the bruises to show from the market. And we will definitely keep connecting. Francis, I will definitely reach out to you. I'll also let people know, everybody here would slide into your DMs, both of because I think they need all the encouragement along the way. We've just finished this week ends the first 90 days, what we call an innovation fast track, where they came up with ideas. Tomorrow they'll be presenting to Bumi, Greenhouse Capital, and friends of the ecosystem. And then from next week, we begin a whole 9 months of innovation deep dive, where they're going to be rotated across departments, but at the same time, they put a lot of this into practice. So thanks a lot, guys. Once again, everybody, please go sign up to play games online. Sign up, AWUJO, and recommend your friends to come in. There's money to be made. There's people to thrash. And if you think you're good, then put your money where your mouth is, essentially. And let's support the team. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. And all the best to you guys. Yeah. All the best in your pitches. Yeah. Let us know how we can help. Yeah. Let me drop my email actually.
Whether you drop it or you don't drop it, we know where to find you. We know where to
No, wahala. All right, guys, I'm out. Bye.
Francis. All right.
Bye.
Okay, guys, we'll resume at the top of the hour. 2 p.m. West African time, 4 p.m. East African time. Right, Jonah? All right.
Yes.
See you guys
Thank you very
later.
much.
Yeah.